New York City, 1947. The world is black and white on the cinema screen. A little girl looks up at a massive building on 34th Street and believes that Santa Claus is real. That building was Macy's. For 70 years, Macy's wasn't just a store, it was a cathedral. It was the physical symbol of the American middle class. If you shopped at Macy's, you had made it. You bought your school clothes there. You bought your wedding registry there. You bought your first suit there. It was the anchor of the mall, and the mall was the anchor of the community. But fast forward to January 10th, 2026. The headlines are flashing red. Macy's to close 14 stores. Bold new chapter. Turnaround strategy. The corporate press releases are filled with optimistic buzzwords. They tell you they are optimizing. They tell you they are becoming leaner. But if you look at the math, the cold, hard 3D math that they don't put in the press release, you see a very different story. You don't see a turnaround, you see a funeral. Because the truth is, the American department store model is dead, and it was killed by three assassins: the internet, the real estate market, and the credit card trap. Today, I am going to break down exactly why Macy's is closing these stores, why this is just the tip of the iceberg, and why the middle-class mall is about to go extinct. We are going to connect the dots between the mortgage rates you see on the news, the skyrocketing credit card interest rates under the current administration, and the empty parking lot at your local shopping center. This is not a story about shirts and shoes. This is a story about the end of an economic era. To understand why this is happening, we first have to look at assassin number one, the real estate paradox. Most people think Macy's is in the business of selling clothes. Wrong. Historically, Macy's has been a real estate hedge fund that happens to sell perfume. For decades, Macy's owned their buildings. They didn't pay rent. They owned the most valuable land in the suburbs. But in 2026, we have reached a tipping point. The value of the dirt underneath the store is now higher than the value of the business inside the store. When Macy's announces they're closing 14 stores, they aren't just locking the doors, they are selling the asset. They are looking at a spreadsheet. Column A, profit from selling jeans. This number is shrinking. Column B, profit from selling the land to Amazon for a warehouse or to a developer for luxury condos. This number is massive. The turnaround plan is actually a liquidation plan. They are slowly stripping the assets to pay off their debts. They are worth more dead than alive. Assassin number two, the death of the middle. We talked about the middle class trap before. Department stores were built for a specific customer, the middle class family who wanted affordable luxury. But in 2026, the economy is a K-shaped. The rich are getting richer. They shop at Hermes, Louis Vuitton, and Neiman Marcus. The poor are getting squeezed. They shop at Walmart, TJ Maxx, and Shein. The middle, where Macy's lives, is a ghost town. You can see this in the closings. Which stores are they closing? They aren't closing the flagship in New York. They are closing the stores in the B and C malls, the malls where the middle class used to shop before inflation ate their paycheck. Macy's is trying to pivot to luxury, but it's too late. You cannot convince a Gen Z shopper that Macy's is cool, and you cannot convince a boomer shopper to pay luxury prices. They are stuck in the dead zone. Assassin number three, the interest rate guillotine. This is the part nobody talks about. Look at the news today. Mortgage rates are stubborn. Credit card interest is at record highs. Some store cards are charging 35% APR. The department store model relies on one thing: store credit. For years, Macy's made more money from the interest on their credit card than they made from the clothes. They were a bank disguised as a store. But when interest rates hit 30% and the consumer is tapped out, the game stops. People are defaulting on their credit cards. They're not opening new accounts. The Trump credit card economy, where rates are high and debt is expensive, is the final nail in the coffin. When you combine high mortgage rates, which means people aren't buying new houses so they're not buying furniture, with high credit card rates, which means people stop impulse buying, the department store math collapses. So, what happens next? This bold new chapter will play out over the next 3 years. You will see more closings. The 14 will become 50, then 150. The malls that lose Macy's will trigger a co-tenancy clause. This is a legal term. When the anchor, Macy's, leaves, the smaller stores, the Gap, Foot Locker, have the legal right to break their lease or pay lower rent. This causes a death spiral for the mall owner. The mall goes bankrupt. It gets bulldozed. And what replaces it? Mixed-use apartments, Amazon distribution centers, data centers for AI. The physical infrastructure of America is shifting from consumption, malls, to logistics and housing. This is verifiable. Look at what happened to Sears. Look at what happened to Toys R Us. The private equity firms strip the assets, sell the real estate, and leave the brand to die. Macy's is following the exact same playbook. So what is the lesson for you? Why should you care if a store closes? Because it is a signal. It is a signal to stop investing in the old America. Don't invest in dying retail REITs. Don't invest in companies that rely on the middle-class consumer debt bubble. And sentimentally, say goodbye. Go to the closing sale. Walk through the empty aisles. You are walking through a museum of the 20th century. The era of the miracle on 34th Street is over. The era of logistics on Main Street is here. Macy's isn't turning around. They are cashing out. And you should know the difference. I'm Greg. Don't buy the hype. Watch the real estate. And I'll see you in the next video.